Ever wonder what happens when you merge a Twilight Zone-esque show with a silly grindhouse feel? Well, today's reviews for the recently released full-motion video game Fiendish Thieves, inspired by horror TV and cinema of yesteryear, and it aims to answer that question. It starts off rather oddly as a goofy guy picks snacks and sits down to watch a movie one night.
Movie time, and you can't have movies without snackies. What am I gonna get? What am I gonna get? I love snackies!
He finally picks some stuff and he heads to his nerd cave.
My DVD and Blu-ray dojo.
And side note, when I first saw this guy's nerd cave, I was impressed. He's got a badass collection of movies and memorabilia. Like, this is 100% a room I'd hang out in. Okay, but then he immediately turns me against him as he decides to sit down and watch cable TV in a room full of classics. But I digress.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Terratelli.
So the show he turns on is recognizable as a Twilight Zone of sorts, but with the kooky mad scientist hosting instead of Rod Sterling. This is where the game should have began, in my opinion. The scientist drops you into a tale of two thieves who find more than they bargained for one dark evening. The thieves are a classic pairing of two people who couldn't be more different than each other. One of them's an asshole.
Well, it doesn't matter. Well, it's one squeeze, two squeeze, three squeezes. You've been using my toothpaste.
And one of them's a scaredy cat nice guy.
How are you? It's bloody dark in here.
Off the bat, though, I noticed solid composition with good use of lighting and music. The TV show portion is actually enjoyable to watch. This was clearly shot by someone who has at least watched a lot of films, if not studied them. It starts off a little heavier on the humor, though, before it dives into the darker stuff. But keep in mind, this isn't a game that ever becomes anything truly frightening. It's lighthearted throughout, which I think makes it something more people can enjoy, but I can't say I wouldn't have appreciated some good blood splatter towards the end. The setup is rather simple, which is nice. There's only 3 options when the player is presented with a choice of what to do next. My only complaint in this area is that sometimes it's unclear which one you're supposed to do in order to progress the story. Especially since sometimes there's 2 options that have the same title but don't show the same clip, so sometimes you end up watching the same part again with no way to skip it. You jump back to reality checks throughout the game to see what's happening with the popcorn muncher on the couch, but it's mostly literal smacking, silly dialogue, and even one incredibly cringy fart joke.
Ooh, oh, ripe one, ooh, ooh, oh. I usually like my own brand, but ooh, ripe.
Overall, this part feels as if it could have been cut, as it might turn some people off, but I get that it's a nod to the crass humor of a lot of classic grindhouse flicks. It mostly worked there, but I feel it falls a bit short in how it's used here by pulling some punches to stay family friendly. There are a few parts with reused footage, and specifically one that could have been avoided in the staircase sequence simply by stretching the long scene that's repeated each time across several staircase segments. I wouldn't say it distracts from the experience too much, and I'm guessing it was done to add length, though it's definitely noticeable. All in all, I'd say this is an enjoyable little experience for fans of classic horror or grindhouse cinema like myself. As a person who's played Double Switch,
my name is Eddie. I need your help.
I can assure you there are for sure some worse full-motion video options on the market, but there may also be some better ones. Either way, the story is interesting with a decent ending, and though if the crass fellow on the couch was cut, the experience would be better overall, for $3, this is a decent full-motion video experience and not a fiendish way to spend 30 to 40 minutes.